What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of Run the Break. This is Stu.
I've got to change my damn name today. It's all good.
It's all good. It's the same.
I'm gonna keep it up anyway.
Babe,
Cash App Apple Pay.
It is episode number 8. I know we've been, lulling the episodes. Trust me, guys, schedules kind of suck. So
yeah. I mean, we work, man.
We here. But we do have
we work people. We work people.
But, we do have a special guest today who will be a recurring guest, our recurring third, introducing the man who's on everybody's podcast.
Pretty much.
Really? I'm not on everybody's podcast. I'm only on 2 podcasts. Just 2.
Now 3.
Yeah, this is
3 now.
Okay. Yeah, you got it.
Matt, welcome.
What's going on, y'all? What's going on?
Last time me and Matt did a podcast.
Looking at these frauds right now.
Last time me and Matt did a basketball podcast.
I was going to go to jail.
Matt was going to go to jail. So we won't have to worry about that this time. So,
because we ain't got no bail money, nigga.
Yeah, we don't. We didn't have bail money last time, so
that's why I didn't hit him.
That's why you didn't hit him. But what's going on, brothers? First and foremost, these NBA playoffs have been, pretty interesting to start. The 2 number 1 seeds did what they needed to do, and with OKC not even beating the tar shit out of Memphis, because Memphis kind of stayed in that.
No, he didn't.
No. If Ja didn't get hurt game 3, they probably would have gotten the game.
He got hurt on purpose. Let's be honest.
No, he didn't.
He got hurt on purpose.
No.
Ja wouldn't do that.
Come on.
Nobody had counted Memphis in that series. We knew it was going to be.
Nobody. Ja Morant not going to get hurt on purpose. That's crazy.
Come on now.
That's crazy.
I'm trying
I wouldn't even do that to Ja.
And then
Cleveland
destroyed my Miami Heat like a 10-cent hoe. So
boy, they still walking up the Miami Street strip.
Or they're in Cancun or Ponce or San Juan.
They didn't even call South Beach.
They someplace. They're not playing for sure. Definitely not playing.
Right now, Bam is in Vegas, looking at his girl playing preseason.
Bam is in Vegas.
Yeah, Bam is in Vegas.
I should be in Vegas with him.
Yes, they've been together since the Olympics.
You know what, Bam? I ain't even mad at you, bro.
That too. They were just.
But Matt, the good news is Skylar Diggins is a free woman now.
I know, ain't it? It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, stay away from a Drake.
It's a beautiful thing.
The Indiana Pacers dispatch the Milwaukee Bucks, as everybody kind of expected anyway.
Yeah.
Shouts out to Dame. Shouts to Dame.
Giannis did whatever he could, man. Giannis did whatever
he did everything he could to not lose.
He did everything he could. Even in the closeout game, 30, 20, and 10.
Gary
Trent stopped by Tyrese Halliburton's father.
Gary Trent. I feel bad for him because it's one of those things where, like, I think we mentioned this, like, when we spoke about Chris Middleton a few times, once upon a time, where Chris Middleton would do everything in his power to keep the Bucks in the game. And then
Giannis will fuck it up.
And then he'll do something to mess it up. And that's kind of what Gary Trent did. He did everything in his power to keep them in the game. And when it was time for the lights to shine the brightest, 2 bad turnovers.
I blame Doc.
We get into that? Please tell me we get into that.
No. He's doing the monologue. He's running through. He's running through.
Yeah. We're just running through that. As well as the New York Knickerbockers delivering the goods.
I like the way you said their names.
By beating the Detroit Pistons in
It was a good series, man. It was a good series.
We spoke about it 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago when we last recorded. That's the series that probably be the test for New York.
They needed it though.
Mm-hmm.
They needed that test to see, like, all right, like if push comes to shove, because you're gonna face Boston, which is equally a tougher defense.
Absolutely.
So like they needed that test to like prove it out. But as long as you got 11 on that floor within 5 minutes left in the game,
we good.
Hey man, I like my chances.
No, I definitely like y'all chances as well. And on the Western Conference, OKC, swept the baby Grizzlies,
the baby Bears.
Ja did get hurt, and I don't think the Grizzlies would have won that series anyway, but they would have made it a little bit more competitive. They would have took a game. They would have got gentleman swept, but they would have took gentleman swept.
I still don't trust Jaren Jackson.
I don't either, but at the same time, because of what the energy of what Game 3 meant, like I had them at least getting a game. And I got to give a shout out to Scottie Pippen Jr. because like he was balling that series too.
He showed up.
He was he's been the perfect replacement for Tyus Jones, because like remember Ty Jones was their backup point guard. Memphis was missing that last year, and to get something like Scottie Pippen this year on a discount,
supreme.
Yeah, they did a good job. I know Memphis got a lot. Oh shit!
Settling for cheap. You don't know your worth, Scotty. Just saying.
Relax, bro. Like it's much different situation than his father, though.
Way different.
It's way different.
We ain't gonna lie. He's still the $40 special. We're not doing that. Be honest.
What?
His son is just starting out, dog. Come on.
Yeah. Denver dispatched the Clippers in a hell of a series.
James Harden sold again.
I swear it's part of his contract.
I just remembered. It was this year. Matt finally came to his damn senses when I was like, James Harden is no good in the playoffs. And I presented the facts to him. And
water's wet.
Listen, it's James Harden. And one thing you know that's going to happen, two things for sure, right? One of the things for sure that's going to happen is James Harden in the playoffs, and Doc Rivers, right?
Dribble.
That was a great series. Lakers, Timberwolves. The Timberwolves beat the Lakers
belt to ass.
Belt to entire ass.
Belt to ass.
Luka was looking exactly why Nico traded him. Nico Harrison agreed to the trade. LeBron looked his age, and
yeah, he did. He looked 40.
And JJ Redick pulled a Mike Budenholzer and didn't make the proper adjustments.
JJ lost him.
Center, bro.
That too, but JJ's lack of adjustments lost him that series.
100%.
JJ's lack of adjustments, immaturity lost him that series. Like, yo, why are you playing someone who's 40, 24 straight minutes in the second half? Like center. You could have given, and granted, like Bron, when the minutes he gave was playing well, but you could have gave the dude a breather and put somebody in.
Jackson Hayes.
You could have put Jackson Hayes in.
What happened to their center?
Jackson Hayes.
He didn't trust him. He didn't trust him. And Rudy Gobert closed y'all out with 24 and 22.
And we all know he's a bum.
I'm sorry, 27 and 24. That man went
27 24.
Went bananas. Like he
the bum
back like numbers on the Lakers.
But we all know he ain't capable of doing that shit. He's
not doing that in round 2 against they get either Golden State or Houston after this game.
Yeah. No, he's not because he's
not doing that to them niggas.
Houston is tough, and Houston and Golden State are both tough enough to withstand that. And on to the final series of the first round, which is will be finished out tonight, which is Golden State and Houston, which is on Game 7. Houston in Game 6 was like Nah, this is.
We ain't going out like
that. My boy Van Vliet like turned back the clock. He thought he was in Toronto the way he was playing. Finals Van Vliet, like he was doing it, man. He was busting ass.
He was going crazy. But Steph Curry lives for the brightest of lights, and with his Robin on his team with Jimmy Butler.
Announce that man right.
Hold on, let me hold on.
Announce that man right.
So Steph Curry. So Steph Curry is gonna do what he does. Jimmy Butler's gonna do what he does, and the rest of the Warriors have to do what they do to beat.
Yeah, they just gotta follow.
Yeah.
So not only are you going to disrespect light skin Jesus, you want to disrespect me too?
Yeah,
absolutely. Because you won't let me just get through the top half of it of the show when I was almost there. And then you light skin Jesus.
Yeah, you was almost finishing out the first round recap.
I'm literally just finishing out the recap. I'm gonna let you go light skin Curry, light skin Jesus crazy.
So hold on, both of y'all got the Warriors in 7 tonight.
I do.
I have to because Jimmy Butler's over there. So yes, if Jimmy Butler was not playing for the Golden State Warriors, I'd be.
He's gonna have to have a really big game tonight to push it.
Draymond,
he's capable of it.
Draymond's gonna not have to Draymond.
Draymond cannot have a technical tonight.
Why? If he has a technical, he's done for the first game of the next series, right?
Not even that. It's just the fact that in a game 7, sure, like, anything goes in terms of, go ball out for the season, but you can't derail the momentum of fucking it up because you want to just get a technical. You cannot engage with Dillon Brooks. Let him get the technical. Like it's a mental thing. You can't necessarily fuck it up. Now, if it's a game 1 going against, the Wolves in Minnesota,
yeah,
I think Soda has the home court. No. Golden State will have the home court advantage in this series. But like you could probably get away with it in game 1 of the next series because you're going against Rudy, and we all know like from what happened last time those two locked up. So hey, but in the same token, it's like you can't afford that. You got you want to get to the next round. So from a mental standpoint, you've been in the game too long. You're 13 years in. 10 years ago was your first finals appearance. You're trying to go to your 7th.
Yep.
To win your 5th. You cannot go into that thinking like, yo, I'm gonna, be Draymond and just do whatever Draymond does because that's just who he is. You can't get away with that shit in game 7.
The flip side of it is that you want Draymond to be Draymond.
No, you want him to be physical.
Without the antics.
Yeah, it's the bullshit.
So with that being said, for the first round recap, what was any surprises that you saw on either side of the conferences? Matt, I'll start with
Wolves.
I'm not gonna say I'm surprised by the Wolves. I felt like they were the best team last year, and they added Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo, and you got yourself a perimeter scorer and a shooter. And I honestly hated Julius Randle on the Knicks. I feel like he fits better with the Timberwolves because he evens out their scoring for Ant to do what he got to do. I was more surprised that Tobias Harris showed the fuck up. That's what the fuck I was surprised by.
Once.
Like you've been hoeing Philadelphia for years. And you decided you wanted to go to Detroit and look like the money that you're getting paid. Because I don't know how the hell you got paid that amount of money with the amount of input that you've been putting out for the last couple of years. But hats off to you. You did what you had to. Yeah, he did what he did his thing. I was more. Yeah. I'm not gonna say I'm surprised that Detroit showed up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not either.
I'm surprised it was that good. It was like reminiscent of the 90s. And it proves that maybe it's the old soul in me that I love competition like that. So I was surprised that the referees let them play. And I was surprised that Tobias Harris made a fucking appearance. That's what I was most surprised about.
Yeah, I ain't like that. Y'all did not like that. Y'all did
I was pissed.
losing your fucking mind. Yeah, they fouling, man. Like,
I go front because them niggas was hacking. Them niggas was hacking. Like they were hacking, like, but
also
it was very content. Like I could take the hacks. I can't take the extra stuff that like Schroeder was doing. Like Hardaway was pushing dudes off of every goddamn screen. Like he was doing them old school Bam out of bio like holding screens that I hated. So I'm like, yo, like I get it. You want to be physical, but if he's holding you, bro, call this shit. Like, but in the same token, I said this before, like weeks ago when we were previewing the series. For the Knicks to win this series, they need this series. Everyone's like, oh, they should go for the Bucks. I'm like, nah. I want Detroit because you need that series to. You need that series to kind of prepare because it's like you're going against teams like Boston, you're going against teams with good defense like Cleveland, so you're going to need that, in the forefront. So that's something that they needed to do coming out in this series. And listen, they showed up, and that game winner in Game 6 was filthy. I ain't gonna hold you. Like
that man is a killer. Like, that light-skinned man is different. I ain't gonna say I didn't foresee this when he was in Dallas. That man is a killer. I'm
like Nico Harrison fucked up. He fucked up once. You can say about the shit about Luka, but he fucked up when he let Jaylen Brunson go for nothing. And not only that, during that time period, he dusted Donovan Mitchell twice.
Yep.
He dusted freaking Tyrese Maxey and the Sixers with Tobias Harris at the time and Joel Embiid last year. And he went toe to toe with another great point guard, Tyrese Halliburton, for 7 games last year. He went against a tough team against the Heat the previous year. Now he's going in the Lions' den, that damn leprechaun. He's going to Boston, and it's going to be a tough series. And time after time, he's always proven time and time again, y'all gonna get 30, don't matter what. So that series was fun, and I'm glad. And shout out to Detroit, they will be back. You get Jaden Ivey back. You get some solidified guys off the bench and growing your young core. JB Bickerstaff gonna be working with something, just to prove Cleveland wrong in terms of when they fired him. So they're cooking something in the Motor City, man. This was a good series. Shouts out to them. It's on the Boston.
Ugly as shit.
I think.
So those jerseys is ugly as shit.
What jerseys?
Houston Rockets jerseys.
Draymond made a 3.
Which ones are they wearing?
H-Town.
They're the H-Town shit.
Those are not that bad. The black. I like the black ones.
Drake just made a 3, so they definitely winning.
Who made a 3?
Draymond.
Oh yeah, it's over.
So the series over.
Draymond is hitting threes. That means Draymond's gonna have a good 15 points tonight, and that's OD.
And they're a better road team. They are home. That's a crazy thing. They are always been that way
this year.
But that's a good thing in the playoffs, though. You need that.
No, I mean Golden State in general. They've always been that way. I can't remember a season where they were terrible away.
They've never been terrible on the road. They know how to win on the road. I'll say that. They know how to win on the road. They're not like world beaters on the road, but they know how to get some wins. In terms of the surprise in the first round, I'm gonna say that I'm surprised that the Knicks pulled that series out, right? And I was gonna go to the West and say the Lakers Wolves, but Matt said it too.
Yeah, no big.
The Wolves were here before. The Wolves were the best team in the league last year, regular side or not, because they were all tied for first. The Wolves were here. Anthony Edwards is here. The Julius Randle pickup definitely helped spread the floor better. And then the Lakers are not a defensive team. Everybody was yelling the Lakers' praises the last couple weeks of the season because of the defensive efficiency, but they weren't playing against teams that was playing their best, and they weren't playing against teams that were worth a damn for that defensive efficiency to be like, oh shit. So what happened?
You're relying too much on a 40-year-old too.
Right, you're relying too much on the 40-year-old, but also that 40-year-old is allowing the team to rely on him too much too.
Right, but you said defensive efficiency with Luka in the same team. That's funny as fuck. You know he don't play defense.
I'm not talking about it, but it's not just Luka on the team, right? You got an aging LeBron. Else. Yeah, like you got an aging LeBron who have not played straight up man-to-man defense since he's been in Miami, right? Let's keep it a spade a spade. He's basically playing free safety all the time, right? Austin Reeves, people think he's a world beater on defense. He is a solid defender on the perimeter, but he can get worked. Like
on rotational defense, yeah.
Your best rim defender is Jackson Hayes.
Who don't play?
You don't play him.
You'd have been a lob threat, which is crazy.
Right. Jared Vanderbilt is always hurt
and can't shoot.
Can't shoot worth of
but
shit.
Still start shoot. But still will shoot. Never make no sense.
Rui Hachimura, who should be better defensively than he is not. So I didn't think that series was. I didn't think the series was going to be a gentleman's sweep, but I thought the Wolves were going to handle business like they did.
I had it going 6 or 7 because of the fact that Ant Edwards is like I've been saying this, especially in the chat, and to anybody who's going to hear it. He's 84 Jordan.
Yeah,
he's 84 to
88. Before he started going bald. He's
84 to 88. He's actually Jordan before he broke through the glass ceiling, honestly. So
before he got bald,
until he beat Detroit, and that's who Anthony Edwards is playing like.
Like it's scary because he knocked off Durant,
KD,
and if he does Steph as the trio next round, Joker
and Jamal Murray.
If he knocks out Steph in the next round.
And now Luka and King.
Yo, like,
yep.
What y'all can't say nothing about him not being the face of the league at this point. He may not want it, but you it now. Like, they're showing more Adidas commercials than Nike.
Yeah, I still won't wear them shit though. I ain't gonna wear them.
And then
I think it ain't bad. I fucks with this niggas.
I just can't wear Adidas, bro. I can't do it.
The crazy part about Anthony Edwards is again, he's just hooping, and people
he a killer.
Give him the bad rap about just him talking. Like, listen, the NBA needs personalities. Saying this for a long time. Anthony Edwards is the personality that the NBA needs, right? Because good, bad, or indifferent, Anthony Edwards is going to talk his shit, and that's what you want. You want your players confident enough to be like, yeah, I'm better than everybody here. I'd rather my star be that and say that than to just be like, yeah, I'm just happy to be here. No. Go out and show people that talk his shit and then back it up because he has been backing up his talking.
The Olympic team kind of solidified where Ant was going to go.
Oh, absolutely.
Once he told Obama and said, "Yo, I'm the fucking truth." When he said that to Obama, the president, former president of the United States, straight up, like Jordan would have loved him back in the day.
100%.
The way that's the energy he's giving. He's giving Michael Jordan, but if we're gonna give him anything right now, if people are not satisfied right now about giving him Michael Jordan, that's young Kobe right now.
100%.
This is young Kobe right now.
Who Devin Booker should have been.
The funny part is Devin Booker has that in him, but he needs to get away from the Suns. But that's a conversation for another episode.
That's another day.
When the playoffs are done.
I got a question real quick.
Huh?
I got a question before you get into what you're about to say.
let me just finish this and I'll let you. So my surprise again was the Knicks in Detroit series. Not because I didn't think the Knicks could win the series. I thought they had a chance to win the series. It's Detroit pushing the Knicks with their backs against the wall and basically saying, "I'm here. What are y'all going to do about it?"
They needed it.
And the Knicks needed that because, like you said, the Celtics play a brand of defense similar to Detroit without the physicality, though. The Knicks needed to fight in that series because now the defense that they're going to see is going to help them. And the Knicks match up well against the Celtics, better than what most people think. That their problem is going to be not Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum because you have Bridges and Anunoby for that.
It's a double big.
The problem is going to be the center position. The problem is going to be the point guard position. And the reason why I'm saying the point guard is not saying that Jaylen Brunson is not better than
he's not going to get a break.
The court is that you have to deal with White,
Andrew Holiday.
And they can switch, right? See, now the best part about having Dante DiVincenzo is the fact that Dante DiVincenzo would have took a lot of that like attention off of Jaylen Brunson because you can't really focus on just Jaylen Brunson with Dante DiVincenzo.
That's why I hated he was part of the trade. Like I was like, man, like if he wasn't part of that trade,
yeah, the power of friendship would be cruising through the playoffs right now. They still would have had trouble with Detroit. They still would have had trouble with Detroit with Dante.
Detroit would have been a little bit easier from the perimeter shooting base, though. Scoring would have been easier with Dante, though.
Yeah,
that's what kept them in the game was the perimeter shooting.
Also, Cade Cunningham is here. Cade Cunningham is here.
Yeah,
he's been here, but it's been quiet. He's here
now. People know
someone said he reminds people of an infusion of Grant Hill and a young Penny. And then when I saw the game, I was like,
yes.
He gives me Darren Williams vibe, though. He gives me Darren
No. D Will was more shifty.
I'm talking about when he gets how he finishes, and then when he feels like it's getting crazy, he can do
even then, Darren was more shifty because Darren was a little more athletic than Cade. Cade's not as athletic. Cade has more of a pace.
I see Penny too.
But the way they said Grant Hill, like the way like Grant used to control the game, like that's where I see it. Penny's more so in terms of setting guys up and knowing how to see the floor. But from the Grant perspective, where G Hill when he was in Detroit, is the way like, yo, not only like you're not gonna speed me up, I'm gonna get to the bucket any way I can. Penny was more athletic, where he was able to just get to the basket and get his. But for the Grant Hill, the way he was methodically able to kind of like, all right, lull you to sleep and get to his spots. Like the Detroit got themselves a good one, man.
Detroit had themselves a good one. They have a good team around them. I would recommend looking off season for. Well, they also didn't have Jaden Ivey. If they would have had Jaden Ivey, this series probably would have went a whole different way. Honestly,
probably go 7, but I still take the Knicks though.
It probably goes 7. The Knicks may pull it out because it's in the Garden. It would have been in the Garden, but whew. Shout out to Detroit for also taking 2 at the crib. They took two away from y'all at the Garden.
And we took all theirs. Yeah, took all theirs.
Yeah, y'all took all of theirs too. Crazy.
We went to that crappy ass pizza arena and took 3.
That Little Caesars arena.
Little Caesars.
All right.
LCA.
But, so with this next round here, right? We're just against Boston. The round 2. So Knicks Boston is a series where a lot of people are kind of like we could have a magical moment.
It's not gonna be a sweep, but I have the Celtics in 6 though. It's not gonna be a sweep, but like logically, I have the Celtics in 6. My fandom says Knicks in 7, but Boston is the defending champions. You gotta respect them.
Absolutely.
You know, And the only reason why I say Knicks in 7 in terms of like, me, the fandom and everything is because of the fact that like they could fuck up and take 1 or 2 in Boston, depending on, when it shifts back. They could take a game 1 in Boston or take a game 5 in Boston. Like they just have to win 1 at the crib and take 1 or 2 in Boston to make it a series. If they extend it past a 5-game series, the chances kind of can increase. It just depends in terms of what happens tomorrow night. But because the defense they face against Detroit, I think they're better equipped. So now with some rest and some prep time, this is a series you have to use the double big lineup with Mitch and Cat.
Yeah, because they're sure going to be using Horford and Porzingis at the same damn time for sure.
I know Porzingis would get hurt so bad in my life. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Because the thing about it is you're not gonna like you're not going to have the same issues you had against Detroit, where like you're gonna basically have like a tall point guard see everything. Drew Holiday's not gonna be the only one initiating the offense. Most likely gonna be Derek White.
Shit,
Drew Holiday's
not even just that. Jayson Tatum.
Yeah,
and Tatum's another one in terms of his bucket. I will say, depending on the wrist for Jayson Tatum, because he took a really bad spill in game 1 or 2 when he hurt his wrist.
Yeah.
Against Magic.
And Drew's on one wheel too.
Drew's on one wheel, and Jaylen Brown's knee is still sore.
I also forgot. Yes, that's what I forgot. The series I forgot. The Orlando Magic and the Boston Celtics. Shout outs to the Orlando Magic, another young team that, if healthy, the Celtics would have had some shit on their hands.
They needed a score. Sure. Like, because even if they had Jalen Suggs, it's like having Josh Hart on the floor. They needed an actual score.
They needed a floor general. And that's what Jalen Suggs does for them, too. He does it.
Trae Young. Trae Young goes to Orlando. Jalen Suggs, one of the Wagners, maybe not Franz.
I don't want to give up Jalen Suggs.
You got to give to get, baby.
I'm not. You know why I don't want to give up Jalen Suggs? Is the fact that Jalen Suggs runs 1, 2, and 3 and can guard 1, 2, and 3. Versus
you got Anthony. You got Anthony Black as a 2 guard. Like
I don't want Anthony Black. I like Anthony Black, but I would give up Anthony Black instead.
You got to give up something, Dre. You know what's the business. You got to give up something.
Here you go, Anthony.
You got to give up something. No, but it's not just Anthony Black. You gotta give up Cole Anthony Black, possible Jalen Suggs.
Cole Anthony could go. It's all good. It is A-okay. Take
like the one they're probably going to be a hard no is probably Jonathan Isaac. You can get away with. You can do with Wendell Carter.
Oh, that's the thing. You might not be able to do that because even though
you got Jonathan Isaac
as your center. Because Jonathan Isaac played the 3.
He's 7 foot, and he can play. He can defend 1 through 5, and they can switch like hell.
They need a center.
Powell can masquerade as a small 5 and get his boards anyway. So it's like they're versatile enough to get away with it.
I just don't see Atlanta getting rid of Trae Young right now. That would be like that's a whole rebuild. With no centerpiece.
But let's be honest. Like, what is Atlanta going to do with Trae Young from here on out? You already traded one of your best players in DeAndre Hunter. You not just traded. You gave him to the Cavs.
Literally. Here. You gave him to the team.
And Dejounte Murray.
Didn't need him either.
And DeJounte Murray, and I hope he gets healthy soon.
Yeah.
So it's like, what else is left there for Trae to do? Like, ever since that year when he, when Ben Simmons couldn't look at the fucking basket and they made it to the conference finals. Like, Atlanta's been the first round out.
Remember we battled on y'all court that year too?
What kind of team outside of an old ass Derrick Rose and Julius Randle did we have?
Like it wasn't old enough.
we was lucky enough to be there. we was happy enough to be there and have a first round series since Melo.
God damn, I almost got me a Trae Young jersey. I was saying, yeah, I need this.
Ever since then, Trae been one and done. Playing and done.
Every time we go to that damn Garden, it's a fucking show.
Got a player option next year.
He does have a player option next year.
which is why you make that move, like because Orlando would need a floor general. It helps Paolo and Franz get into their positions well. You have a guy like Jonathan Isaac, you can use him as a lob threat, assuming you don't give too much up in the trade. Magic got the picks, so you got
give them shit,
and you got KCP. You can definitely use him in the trade, and then Atlanta can start rebuilding properly with Ricochet and whoever else they got down there, and Jalen Johnson. Like Cole, I tell you right now, and you put Cole Anthony in that trade, like he'll have Atlanta running. They'll be fun to watch.
Johnson too. Jalen Johnson too. I need Jalen Johnson too, man.
He's not part of that trade, Dre. You better let that dream die. They're not gonna let that go. They're not gonna let that go.
Bro, Atlanta gonna need somebody, bro. They're gonna need somebody, bro.
Nah, they're
gonna need somebody.
Atlanta's gonna keep both Ricochet and Jalen Johnson.
Oh yeah, no, they can keep Ricochet. He asked. He can have that. He can have it.
Jalen Johnson ain't coming in that trade, brother. Like you gonna let that go.
I know. But Matt, what do you think the keys to victory will be for the Knicks in this series against Boston?
They gotta hit their free throws. They're just fucking pissing me off through that whole series.
Man,
you do not have no margin of error for the Boston Celtics because they're just on paper and on the court. They're literally flawless. They can shoot. Mid-range game is impeccable. They have the bigs that can out-rebound damn near any team in the league if they want to. The defense is locked down. You have two prolific scorers on your team, and they're young, and they've won champion. They already proved that they're going to a championship. So you got to knock down your free throws if you're New York. Turnovers got to be at a minimum. They turned over the ball way too much in Detroit, way too damn much. It got too chippy to the point where you could tell that they got flustered and they were making really bad passes and really dumbass mistakes. Your best bet, like Stu said, I would have to go with that two big lineup. But the dangerous part of having that two big lineup is Cat gets into foul trouble a little bit too quick. And with a player like Porzingis, you're gonna need Cat on his bullshit. He can't keep settling for threes. He's gonna have to get Kristaps Porzingis dirty.
Plus, he's stronger than KP, so he can definitely, like, what he was trying to do with Tobias Harris, he can get away with KP because KP is a little light in the tail. So he can definitely use that physicality. I'm
gonna need Mikal Bridges to be consistent. I'm gonna need that three head scoring spare. I'm gonna need it to be consistent. OG can't disappear on us because he got hit and bumped a couple times coming to the rack, and he just started settling for shots. I did not like that at all. And like I said, with Boston, you have no margin of error.
Zero.
None. Because they will take advantage of every error. They got away with it, Detroit, because Detroit's not ready yet. But they're knocking at the fucking door. Whereas Boston they're the gatekeepers for that door right now. So no margin of error, virtually no turnovers. None. And y'all are gonna have to really stay true to this defensive system because Tibbs' defensive system, it seems like they all gave up on him until they wanted to lock down and make it work with Detroit. But again, Detroit's not all the way there. Boston is there.
Yeah.
So they're gonna have to do their thing on. But they're gonna have to take advantage of it now.
Yeah.
It missed part of the final parts of your.
I was saying second chance points, being that you have that two center spare,
two big lineup.
You're gonna have to work with that. I know we miss Hardenstein, and that was the center of our second chance points. Y'all gonna have to make it do. Means OG gonna have to bump down there with them and help. But do not give Boston an out because you give them any little space to run the route on you, they're going to run the route on you. Ain't nothing you can do because when they all get hot and they all drain their threes, it's lights out.
Stay
so
to
they got to stay on that defense. I feel like they give up on it a little bit too fast when they get flustered. So OG definitely gonna have to show up in this one. They're gonna need him more offensively, just as much as they're gonna need him on the defense, holding Brown. They're gonna need him offensively too. He can't just settle for jump shots.
No, he can't. He definitely can't. You're 110% right about that one. You ain't never lie. So, Stu, I ask you this: for Indiana and Cleveland, right? Yeah, Indiana and Cleveland. So, who has the advantage in that series? The team with the most rest from sweeping the team, or the team that actually had the same amount of rest? Actually, so I don't think it's the team with the most rest, but who has the advantage in the series?
You said it right. I think Indiana, because they played sooner.
Yeah,
and they've had probably like a day, less than a day of rest between them and Cleveland.
Right.
But the advantage is the fact that they're still in rhythm. Cleveland's technically been off for, they were on cruise control against the Heat. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah,
like was. To the point where like bitch didn't even have to play at points and stuff like that. So, because they've rested so much, the advantage is to Indiana because they're a team that puts the pedal to the metal, and Halliburton is always going to basically speed up the game. As much as Cleveland has the advantage in terms of where they stack in terms of the regular season.
Yeah.
I've seen in instances like, especially the last game where the Knicks faced them. They don't like physicality and they don't like necessarily running with certain teams. So those are their two Achilles heels compared to Boston, which is why, like, if they ended up meeting in the conference finals, like Boston's going to end up like he still goes through Boston at that point. So, like, for Indiana, you have a player like Tyrese Halliburton who's running the Pacers like the 7 seconds or less Suns, but with more of a pace. I think Aaron Nesmith is scoring a lot in this playoff series compared to last year because he's scoring more this year compared to last year, and they're fully healthy.
Last year was his coming out party.
Yep.
And remember, he was also a former Celtic, so he really wanted to show out in terms of like where he's at. So he kind of reminds me of when Jaylen Brown was young, between his rookie year and his second year and stuff like that. That's who he reminds me of in terms of his where he's at, and the fact that the Pacers are giving him that opportunity. He's starting to grow in that department. Benedict Mathurin, who I feel like is like their Oladipo in a way. They're gonna have to find a way to get him more opportunities because he is a dynamic scorer who can get you buckets in any second. Andrew Nembhard, he's actually becoming a lot more comfortable with his offense, within that system, within that Pacer system. I'm not worried about Pascal, Miles Turner, whatever, but the engine is Tyrese Halliburton. He is the conduit that makes his teammates better. Without that, it's kind of like, Indiana's, they're deer in the headlights slightly because you don't have that point guard to basically run the system the way Rick Carlisle wants it to.
Right.
And judging by what we saw today, like Halliburton had not only a double-double, but defensively he's gotten better. Last year he was pretty much a cone for much of the playoffs. So now I'm hearing feedback. Yeah, I was hearing feedback.
I still hear it.
I still do. Yep. What's with the feedback? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, I guess it was Matt. But yeah.
Matt.
It's Matt. Goddamn, nigga. But yeah, like, I just see it with them, man. Like, I think the Pacers, they've grown up a little bit, and Halliburton is kind of like, he's their Reggie Miller now. And Indiana has someone where, like, he could be a villain, but at the same time lead a team to do some awesome things. Like Miles Turner is like their version of Rick Smits. You ain't got the Davis boys because they're not like that. But you got guys who are more finesse. With Pascal and Andrew Nembhard. Of course, you got your little tiny engine in TJ McConnell, who can definitely kill teams. Indiana got a squad, man, and I think that after this game 1, Cleveland has to tighten up because I don't trust Darius going in the playoffs. Neither do I trust, I love Don, but it's tough to trust him in the playoffs as well. So it's just like the Pacers, if the Cavs are not careful, like they can find themselves very well, on the outs again, seeing the Pacers go to the conference finals. And who knows, man? It's might be a rematch of last year's conference finals or last year's semifinals. Who knows? But that's just why you let them play and let them work itself out.
So until we have the winner of Game 7, I can't ask about the next series for the Warriors or the Rockets, which would be the Wolves. But I'm gonna ask about the Thunder, the Thunder and Denver.
7.
Now, that series is clearly going to 7. It has to go to 7. If not, if OKC just decides they're gonna like run through Denver, which I don't think is gonna happen. If that happens, then woof. But OKC lines up perfectly with Denver too. Like there's not one big that's going to stop Joker. That's why you got 2 of them.
I just realized Russ is going back to OKC.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it's going 7. It's going 7 because they're gonna be conflicted. It's like, yo, Russ was one of us, but now we got to go through.
I feel like Game 7 is when we're gonna get the triple double king.
Listen, the way Russ sent Harden packing,
swinging on the rim, I was like, yeah, I like that. Yeah.
I love that energy.
I love that.
It's in that man's contract. Flake out when they really need you. Always that.
Always.
That
any team needs them. Any team.
It's 28 points in Game 6 and a no-show in Game 7.
It never fails. When it
makes sense.
It never fails, bro.
I can't even put that on Ty Lue because Kawhi had a great game. And Zubac played
on Tyru. Like James Harden just be every time. Like it's literally every time. Like
that's the one time it wasn't Doc's fault like that year.
Right. We get on Doc Rivers. I get it. We get on Doc Rivers. But when it comes to James Harden, my gosh, he's in the same realm. So my question is, who has the advantage in this particular series between OKC and Denver?
Denver.
How so, Matt?
Denver's been there before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they're kind of the grizzled vets. Mm-hmm. OKC is trying to live up to their billing. Yeah, they reloaded and they got like extra help to try to fend off Joker, but Joker is still the best player on the planet right now. And Jamal Murray is still a fucking demon when he wants to be. So is Michael Porter, still a demon.
Michael Porter been quiet as hell.
Quiet, but he was raining threes the other night. He was killing them.
Because he got Mike Malone out.
But the wild card is Russell Westbrook, because he's the one that everybody's going to sleep on. He's the one that everybody's really not paying too much attention to, but he's the one that got the most to prove because he's now put in a position where he can knock on the door for the Western Conference Finals and sneak it to the fucking finals because he has backup now. Mm-hmm. He can go to OKC and be like, look, this is who y'all let leave. This is who y'all tried to kill off in the past and said that y'all don't need me no more. Look at where I'm
at. I wouldn't say all that.
OKC didn't do that.
OKC did Russ a favor. They did Russ a favor. They did Russ a
solid. Favor? What favor did they give him?
When they traded him away, after they traded Paul George, after they traded Carmelo, you would have had Russell Westbrook there by himself again.
But what did he accomplish since he left?
what would he have accomplished by staying
all
there?
of Russell Westbrook's best years is in OKC. Can we agree on that?
True, but I'm gonna push back on Russ in terms of like, what does Russ accomplish? He took a dead Wizards team to the playoffs that had no business being in the goddamn playoffs and taking a game from the Sixers that year.
At all.
They had no business being there. That's one.
They had no business getting a game from the fucking Sixers. Two, who we're talking about.
Two, when he went to the Clippers and they faced the Suns that playoff series, he was the only person to dog and took a game in Phoenix from KD when Kawhi was hurt and Paul George was Paul Georging, that entire playoff.
Paul George, crazy there.
Crazy.
Yo, can we say that I was right? Because I told you I Philly wasn't making the playoffs.
I don't remember. I don't remember.
I called that. I said Paul George is going to get injured. Joel Embiid is going to get injured. I was like, they're not making the playoffs.
I knew that, but I didn't think.
What is what with that?
He was going to be hurt too. Like,
huh? No, I wasn't counting on Maxey to be hurt, but I didn't think Maxey was going to be able to take that whole team by himself to the playoffs.
Yeah, it's the East. He would have been able to get them to play in, bro. Like
they didn't get the playoffs,
bro. They would have.
Philly should have made the play with Tyrese Maxey, just Maxey himself.
Yeah, but Maxey was hurt too. So
Maxey was hurt. They shut it down.
How it was set up, I was like, yo, on paper, they should be like a number 2 or 3 seed. On paper,
if healthy, they'll be back next year. Better.
No, they won't.
Yeah. I think Paul George is going after this year.
Paul George better retire after this year.
Yeah, Paul George.
No.
He need to go back to Indiana to finish his career.
Nah, but in terms of Russ,
a Knicks fan, you want him to go back to Indiana, so Indiana could be no good.
I ain't gonna hold you. I'll do you one better. You want PG? You want PG back in Indiana? I'll put KD back in OKC with those boys.
That's OD, bro.
That's fucked up, bro.
That's wild.
That's fucked up. That's Golden State all over again. Don't do that.
That is worse.
At least he gets to end his career the way he wanted to.
He never wanted to be in OKC, bro.
Well,
he never wanted to be in OKC.
I don't think he never wanted to. No, he didn't want to be in OKC after people was like, well, looks like it's Russell Westbrook team. As soon as they said it was Russell Westbrook team, you know what he did?
He got in his emotions and like went to the team that whooped his ass.
Right. And then he got emotional when he found out people wasn't gonna love him as much as they love Steph Curry on Steph Curry's team. And then Draymond called him a bitch. And he left.
And dipped. He thought he was gonna get the love that Bron got in Miami with D Wade. Nah,
right.
Nigga.
Right.
Bro. That nigga called you a bitch with slobber coming down his mouth. I say,
on national TV. So it was on TNT. It was national. It was a national game.
He meant that with all his heart. He meant that with all his heart, bro.
Nigga called Drake and said, Draymond called me a bitch. I'm leaving.
Right.
I say, yo, damn.
Right. And then they lose to Toronto in the finals because the most legendary, one of the legendary finals we ever seen. Bro.
That show's bullshit, bro. I'll never forget.
Kawhi Leonard and Fred VanVleet.
That was some bullshit.
Pascal Siakam got his contract off that shit.
Yeah, he did.
Yep. But
that series going 7, by the way.
OKC
Denver, and if the Nuggets win that series, they're going to the finals.
Yeah, so I said Denver 7.
Yeah, they probably are because they going for blood if they go because
if they see Minnie in the conference finals, boy,
I think the winner of this series goes to the final. The winner of the series
they're going to the chip, and not only that, it's going to make people
like Minnesota, bro.
We're not sleeping on Minnesota. It's just the fact that I think Joker's out for blood.
Yeah, Joker's out for blood, but I think it is too.
Always can't be out for blood.
It is always out for it, but the matchup's a little different this year, and the circumstances are different. Think Hakeem in '95 when everybody counted the nigga out. That's where Joker's on right now.
It's not like anybody forgot his ass. Like,
don't let SGA get that MVP, even though I think he should get it too. If SGA gets that MVP, Joker about to. I mean,
Joker's about to go 95 Hakeem.
He's about to go Hakeem, and it's gonna be real bad.
He about to look at Chet Holmgren like David Robinson. He'll look at Chet Holmgren like the Admiral and just dream shake. Both shoulder.
Your fault.
It better go to Shea.
You know what?
It better go to Shea,
If it goes to Shea this year, that's just them basically.
Should have went to him last year.
That's why he's gonna get it this year, even though
it should have went to him last year.
No, that's what I said. I didn't say.
No. I said Joker had that year because of the Embiid shit.
Yeah, I guess, but like, actually, and that was they were like, all right, well, we'll give it to you this year, Joker.
It's like, here, damn.
When Embiid won it.
Oh, Tony Brothers is doing this game? Yeah, the Rockets are losing.
Right. Oh, it's over for the Rockets.
Tony Brothers, you got Tony Brothers reffing this game? Yeah, the game's over.
So I said once I saw the pass work and once I saw Buddy Hill hit that 42-foot jump, I said,
Buddy Hill playing good. It's over, y'all.
Yeah,
Draymond
it's
over. 3.
It's over.
Buddy Hill jacking for 42 deep. Yeah, it's over.
Wolves in 6. and collected another body to his tape.
Man,
NBA said we're gonna need at least one member of the Holy Trinity in the second round.
Listen, right? So
because KD ain't made it, LeBron just got dusted. LeBron got dusted, and you're gonna go after Steph?
Yeah,
he do that, yo. Ant's legendary status is going to be crazy.
Imagine he did that all in one run, though. Like, imagine he got Braun, Steph, Joker, or Braun, Steph, and well, he can get Braun, Steph, Joker this year. He could.
He got Durant last year.
Durant and Joker last year.
Imagine Braun, Steph, Joker, and Batman and Robin on the
Celtics.
Yeah.
Wait, which one's Batman?
Jaylen Brown.
I was about to say, Dre, don't do that. I was like, Dre, don't do it.
Bro, we was over here clapping for Jaylen Brown to get the MVP, the Finals MVP. We did not care about
Jay. He won them that series.
Jay, this is why you my brother. This is why you my brother. I think me and you've been the only one talking about. I'm like, yo, Jayson Tatum is not the best player on that team.
Bro, we said this in the finals when they played the Warriors. When they played the Warriors,
the first time,
I was like, when they played the Warriors the first time, I was like,
only Brown showed up.
I'm like, is everybody just talking about Jayson Tatum?
Jayson Tatum?
Y'all forgetting that Jaylen Brown is playing too. Oh yeah, he don't go to his left. The
man matter.
25 points, not going to his left. Like, what y'all doing? Nobody's stopping him from going to his left.
Say the nigga last year during the conference finals. Boston in game 4. Boston in game 4 in Dallas when after they lost game 3, they had to come back, win game 4 so they could win at the crib in game 5. That's when I don't think that was Tatum's only good game was game 5. Meanwhile, Brown was playing the entire fucking series.
Bro, everybody was riding Tatum. Yeah, he's doing so good. He was not. Tatum was playing like
light skin bias or some
garbage. Yes, light skin bias.
That's all it was.
Because they do not like Jaylen. The league does not like Jaylen Brown. He's an
outspoken
black man. They do not like him.
He's an educated, well-spoken black man.
Well-spoken.
So crazy that fuck Nike. I'm gonna have my own shit.
Right, I'm gonna have my own shit. You know what? Me and Kyrie gonna start something.
No, that's who he learned that shit from. Real shit. That's who he learned it from. He learned it from Kyrie.
You learned from Kyrie.
And no, it's not Kyrie bias. That's why I'm a Jaylen Brown.
No, it's not Kyrie bias. I agree with you. I agree 110% with you. He learned it from the right person.
Yeah.
Because he is not getting. He's getting the crucifixion that they wish they could give to Kyrie, but Kyrie's like, nope, y'all not gonna bother me. And Jaylen Brown is just like.
Kyrie's living in peace for now. Kyrie's like, Kyrie's on my peace.
Let something happen right now during these Trump years. Oh yeah, you go hear from Kyrie, and it's like you go hear from Kyrie real quick. But
Kyrie,
let these niggas creep back in the door. They home. Do not let these niggas creep back in the door.
So the WNBA is back. Man, I've actually been waiting for the WNBA season. I can't even lie to you, right?
Yo, y'all saw Paige's debut?
Mm-hmm. Y'all done pissed that white girl off.
Y'all done pissed that girl off.
Y'all still jacking this Caitlin Clark shit? Oh, really? Like, all right.
Wait, no, see, y'all saying that now, but wait till light skinned Mamba comes to the league in Juju, putting belt to ass and everybody. Wait till NCOs.
Juju come out. And Juju gonna be mad this year because some of her players, they went in the transfer portal, and it's just gonna be Juju coming back. Oh my God, we're gonna see
belt to ass,
bro. This college season, USC might not win shit. They're gonna win.
Score 50.
How did they let Malaysia go throughout the fucking out the door like that? South Carolina's bugging. Oh, why they let her go through the shit? That is crazy. But they let her go to LSU though.
Yeah, you're going to your rival.
That is wild, boy. That is wild.
She Kevin Durant in it, bro.
That is wild work, bro. I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm looking forward to the college season.
She doing the women's hoop is saving college basketball because
100%.
Because a lot of these dudes, man, they ain't doing it for me, man. Like you don't know.
You guys know who the fuck is going in the NBA draft? I don't give a fuck. That's where I'm at.
No. Until these guys' sons come out the draft.
I'm waiting for Melo. Gilbert's son, the Boozers.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, prayers up again to Gilbert's son again.
He's good.
No, he's good now. He got the hospital.
Just in general, because you got to work your way back. Definitely got to work your way back. From
Elijah gonna be cold.
Yo, boy,
Kyan's gonna be cold.
He's putting most ass on KD.
The Boozer
kids, the Boozer twins are gonna be cold. DJ Wagner, when he comes out, because Pops before the injuries was cold too.
Dewan Wagner was a dog, and people don't talk.
He was a
ice fast.
I used to hear about his name through Max Preps Weekly on MSG every week. In high school,
you heard about Dewan Wagner. Oh my gosh!
I'm like, yo, a hooper that good made it out of Canada. I wish he was healthy enough to play with Bron those early years in Cleveland.
Houston's washed. They're done.
Boy, imagine he would have had somebody that early with him. Man.
But like Dewan was a killer. Like crossover, like get to the basket. He could shoot the midi. He got the floater. You can shoot the occasional three, and he can lead the floor. Boy, if he was healthy,
man,
that first run in Cleveland with Bron, I think Bron would have made the playoffs the second year of his career. And then like he would have made noise a lot earlier than he would have.
Most of them hating ass players out of there.
like D Miles and Boozer.
Yeah.
D Miles and Boozer was hating crazy.
Ride our coattails.
Oh yeah, and they had Tricky Ricky Davis.
Okay,
Ricky Davis too.
Okay, Ricky Davis.
It was nasty work. Like you had Ricky Davis, D Miles, and Carlos Boozer saying that. And Boozer was just a year in the damn league saying that, yo, I don't know how a high school guy go help us. Like, are you stupid? Yo, that dumbass took the money and went to Utah.
Right.
Then went to Chicago.
He was like, you know what? Yeah, that sounded stupid. Let me leave. But back to the WNBA. It started. When did it start? The preseason started. It was like on Friday. The first game of the season or the preseason was the Wings versus the Aces, belt to ass by the Aces.
Of course, Aces mad this year.
Yesterday preseason was the Mystics, who I love their DC logo. I always love that DC logo. Versus the Indiana Fever. Not so much belt to ass. That was a pretty good game though, for sure. The cheating ass Seattle Storm versus the Connecticut Sun.
What? Why they cheated? Because you're right.
Come on, bro. Come on. Seattle. See, bro. Seattle not crazy.
They got
crazy, bro.
They got a squad, and Skylar is ready this season, like
for blood. Blood.
Skylar said, "Y'all forgot I was a dog." Notre Dame.
She's straight mad just off last season because they could have been.
No, but you know what helped though? The Unrivaled League helped tremendously.
Yeah. because a lot of these people coming out the unrivaled league is about to go dumb.
Because you could tell, like, from the one-on-one matchups that they had when they were doing the one-on-one shit, and credit to the ladies accepting the challenge to do the one-on-one shit and not shying away like some dudes in the NBA. Like I respect that. Outside of Michael Beasley versus Lance Stevenson, which I mean, we got Beasley I got Beasley winning that with my blindfolded.
I don't gotta put it blindfolded because Lance is still from New York, so we go.
No.
I think Michael Beasley gonna win, but he ain't gonna dog Lance.
No. Shouts out to Brooklyn. Shouts out to Lance Stevenson, Abraham Lincoln High School. Shout out to Coney. But come on now, Michael Beasley Michael Beasley could be comatose, and I still got him winning in that one-on-one contest.
Wait, that didn't happen yet?
Nah, it's happening in the summer.
Yeah, June. I think in June.
Where at?
And I don't know.
Yeah,
so, I think somewhere warm, like somewhere tropical. I think somewhere south.
Yeah, they're not gonna play in Coney Island. That'd be crazy.
They're not playing up here.
I do know that. Get out of there alive.
I do know. Brandon Jennings set up something with him and Ty Lawson. That matchup's coming up.
Yeah, that's gonna be good. I like.
Brandon Jennings was a dog too. Ty Lawson was a fucking monster.
Ty Lawson was OG, bro.
That nigga boy.
Ty Lawson was OG.
Yo, he was a dog,
there was some hoopers.
He was hoopers, dog, bro. Oh my god! But
you know what's crazy? Now you know what's crazy when Paul Pierce is like, yo, I'm trying to get myself in shape so I can do this one-on-one thing. I'm like, who you gonna face at this age?
He was a killer too, though.
Ain't no small forward that used to play. If Paul Pierce get in shape,
yeah, it's a wrap.
Unless
Melo be like, yo, I'm just gonna fuck around.
Unless he got face Carmelo, then it's over. It's up.
Yeah, because he ain't got no answer for Melo, bro.
Nobody got no answer for Melo. Nobody got no answer for Melo. Not even the damn King.
I was asked the question though, who's the best Knick out of Melo and Jaylen Brunson? I say gotta go with Melo for now.
But Jaylen's had more success as a Knick.
Jaylen Brunson is creeping ever so closely.
No, Jaylen Brunson's had more success. He's been to three second-round appearances. Melo's only had one in 3 appearances.
Yeah, that was the year after one Saturday.
So it's like,
yeah, and then they ran it to Miami.
Indiana. No, they went in Indiana.
No, they're talking about the year before.
No, I was thinking about the year before because when Amari Stoudemire wanted to punch fire hydrants and shit.
Fucking stupid bastard. I'm sorry.
We were losing against Miami regardless because there was nothing we could have done with Brown that year. But
Baron Davis ended his fuck.
The same game.
Draymond, what the fuck are you doing?
He's being Draymond.
Being zesty.
Punch him in the face.
Who he punched in the face?
Out. See? Did I not just say this? Is it
gonna be a flagrant one, or did he like?
No.
Bro, he acted like he was about to pass, but he literally ducked that nigga in the face, bro.
That should be a flagrant.
Wait, with the ball?
See?
I didn't see it.
With his left hand.
What did he do?
Oh, like he no. He was trying to draw a foul, and he basically just extended his hands and his left just cocked Fred VanVleet in the jaw.
Oh yeah, that's a flagrant too. Yeah,
that's a flagrant too.
He's gone.
Dre did not say this. Dre did not say this. Did not just tell you this,
bro. You said it. No, you said it. You said it at the beginning of the show, and
they gave him a tech.
They gave him a one.
They gave him a regular tech. They gave him a regular tech.
He's gonna get a tech, but if that foul is a flagrant, if he gets a flagrant 2, he's out. I mean,
he's
a flagrant foul a tech?
No. He's back on the floor. He's back on the floor.
Isn't a flagrant foul supposed to be a tech anyway?
No.
Nah, it's a different. It's a penalty. It's a penalty foul, but it's not a tech. Dre got a tech because of the excessive shit, so they didn't call it flagrant at all. So it's just a regular tech.
They probably should have. They got lucky. They got lucky, so they want the Warriors to go to the next round because
he's bugging, bro. Because there was no need for that.
Because had he done that, I told you Dre should not do some stupid shit.
There was no need for that, bro.
I tell you one thing: if he tried Rudy, best believe Ant's gonna be there, and Julius ain't no bitch.
Yo, you see Jimmy Butler like, yo, you gotta relax. God damn. boy, relax.
That's why you're lucky.
You got Jimmy Butler telling you gotta relax.
You got Jimmy there, because even though Jimmy a crash out,
Jimmy's a prime crash out.
You got Jimmy Butler telling you gotta relax.
Out. But if Jimmy's telling you to relax, that means you OD, bro.
Nah, Jimmy's a prime crash out. Like,
but they're gonna come to fucking media day with a dress on and a Medea wig next. I know it's happening. It's coming.
It's fine, because all he do, whatever he do on his offseason, I don't care. It was the same thing when the Bulls had Dennis Rodman. I don't care what Dennis Rodman do when he just
be ready for 48 minutes.
When you on the court, you do what you need to do, and that's exactly what Jimmy Butler does. So we can't even get mad at that. And you and yourself can admit, Matt, as a fan of Steph Curry and of the Warriors because of Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler was the best addition that they could have gotten.
100%.
Buddy Hield got 22 points.
The Warriors are winning. And Buddy Hield
winning this game.
Yeah, Buddy Hield got.
They're winning this game, bro.
Draymond didn't get ejected for Falcon punching somebody.
100%, bro. Once Draymond's still in this game, I'm like,
they bro. They want Draymond. Yeah,
Adam 14 on the is crazy.
They're on the road.
Y'all better not.
Yo, the ref just came out of shoes.
Yeah, so they definitely going to Minnesota. Like, so they're going on the road to Minnesota. So they're staying on the road. So they're going to Minnesota for game 1. I think that game 1 is on Tuesday, because that series starts on Tuesday. Yeah. So
what's the
score? And them going to be ready right now. They're up 13.
What quarter?
Second. They're about to be halftime.
I'm not counting Houston all the way out because.
Bro, Draymond got 10 points.
Not when Steph just hit that 3.
I'll tell you what, Dylan Brooks has a way of inspiring that team.
Oh, he's being bitch. I'm not gonna hold you. He's getting bitch this game.
Oh, okay, cool. So
the white boy is bitching him out.
Amen Thompson reminds me, he is a Ron Artest fused with Latrell, Golden State version of Latrell Sprewell.
Oh, yeah, crash out.
Yeah, no, he's not a crash out yet.
Latrell Sprewell was a crash out.
Sprewell was a crash out.
If you listen to the people tell the stories about Golden State when Trae was there, I'd be a crash out too. I'd guarantee be a crash out too. The way
the way that organization did Spree prior for him crashing out.
I'm knocking everything over. I'm walking in there.
Spree gave the Warriors enough. And y'all gave him so little. Like, you traded away his best friend, Tim Hardaway, Chris Mullin, fired Don Nelson, and you expect him to basically play with niggas like Bimbo Coles and who else was on his team? Freaking Joe Smith.
So you expect him to do something with that? Bimbo Coles was good for his time. He was good for his time.
But not for that team. Not for that team.
He wasn't a world beater either. He was a good, solid role player. But
niggas was averaging 24, was an all-star with a shit team.
Shitty coach.
and you had PJ Carmelissa was a shitty ass coach. I'd crash out too. When he asked Pop to trade him, during the game, he's like, "Yo, Pop, trade for me. Like, I will definitely bring you to the championship. Like, I'll bring you out to the finals."
Please,
he ended up going to the finals, but for a different team. But like, he's like, "Yo, please trade for me." PJ was like, "Yo, Latrell getting to the play." I'm like, "You can't coach." Like, I'd crash out too. Shit. But I would come back with a 2x4-1 to hit my coach though. He took it too far.
I don't care. Like, whatever Trump did, he had a good reason for it. So
but that's what man reminds me of. If you flip Ron Artest and Golden State version of Spree together, like defensively, athletically, like I love, and he's the one that scores. Asar's like the more like Ron Artest. I'm gonna defend you.
I think they're both going to be monsters, right? And don't let a team decide to be like, you know what, I want both of them, right? Don't let a team do that because their contracts expire at the same time. They both want a rookie deal. They do. Don't let that happen, and they be good, and it be good. It's like playing against two young Scottie Pippens, bro. Like,
and they're on the wings too. Like, that's gonna be a matchup hell. Like, if you have them two playing with each other, like, that's gonna be a matchup nightmare.
That's ridiculous, bro. That's ridiculous. And then a team that's not supposed to get them will get them, right? Like the Lakers would find some way to be like, you know what? I think we can figure this out. I think we could trade everybody and get the Twins on shit for cheap. Now, guess what? Crazy. You got Luka, the Twins, and Joker. Like,
oh yeah, because Joker not staying in Denver after 2020.
Oh, Joker not staying in Denver.
I guarantee that shit. He gonna play with his boy Luka,
even though he got his coach fired.
Nah, no. I heard it was MPJ because of some of the minutes and shit. Like, but to be fair though, like Porter Jr. been acting kind of entitled a little bit, so I can see why the coach kind of went at him like, "Yo, like, stop being a bitch and play."
Right. Or you
calling niggas out,
or you end up like your brother, not in the league.
Not in the league. Nah, his brother's with the feds right now.
That just happened last year. You gotta relax, man. It's too soon.
It could have happened yesterday. I don't care.
Like, that's a fact.
I don't care. But shout out to y'all. We're gonna wrap this up right here. Just a few housekeeping announcements. Jobber Slam 5, A Different World. June 21st, live in living color in Brooklyn, New York. Get your tickets now. They are available. You will see yourself, the wise brother there, along with Prolific. Our first time back at Battle Club in 2 years.
2 years, because I was waiting for the melee last year and I didn't get it, and I was tight.
Sorry. For reasons, but we're back.
I know.
I have my bandanas. I have my bandana ready.
We're back. Also, the job.
Will the bat be there though?
Well, who?
Will you bring the bat?
Oh, absolutely. We have some unfinished business to handle while we're there.
Let's go.
We don't finish. I'm not going to say exactly which unfinished business, but
I think I know. But let's go.
When the matches come out, you'll see. But shout outs to the Jobber Tiz Network, Jobber Tiz podcast. This is the 5th installment of Jobber Slam, which also means we will have the 5th installment of the Jobber Slam pre-show this year. And I promise everybody this year, there will be nothing cutting us off in the middle of it. There will be a lot more structure.
Decorum. Yeah,
for sure. And you don't get just a pre-show; you also get a preview show, and information will come out about that soon. So we're gonna be working, guys. That week of Jobber Slam.
It's my favorite week to work. I ain't gonna hold you.
It's gonna be a week to work, and you will. You know what? It's coming out soon. The card is basically finalized. I will not announce any matches on here yet, but by the time you hear this, the first match should be announced. So, which is tomorrow, which is Monday, because this is dropping on Monday. So, again, shout out to the Job Tips Network, all the shows. Shout out to the Your Sports Show. Myself, BK Matt, Queen Tay, the voice of generation, Mr. Married Man himself, Pete Rosado.
Congrats, Pete. Congrats on getting married, brother.
Wonderful. Drunk as hell.
Matt was drunk as hell at the wedding.
Not surprised.
We all electrified. I saw one of the toughest men in wrestling. Don't say his name live on here because
he was crying. We was all crying. I ain't gonna hold you.
I shed a gangster tear.
I ain't gonna hold you. So Pete got away with words.
Pete definitely has a way with words.
But he's a teacher, man.
But he also, Pete also was talking a long time too. I was ready to go eat.
Boy,
shout out to him though. Shout out to him, and shout out to the backstage brawl, of course.
Yeah, we just dropped one today. We just dropped one today. Good shit between Matt and Ty too, back and forth.
Very good. I watched a little bit of it. I didn't get a chance to put my 2 cents in, but
nah, don't worry. Mikey did enough for everybody.
Shout out to Mikey. Shout outs to also Mr. Stan Michael, who it will also be on Jobber Slam in a capacity.
He's been killing it recently, son. Shout out to him, bro. He's been killing it. I ain't gonna front the singing and the suit and the attire shit. That's working.
I like that. That's working.
Right, I like that move. That's a nice move right there.
That's a nice move right there. Shout out to the Dog Days of Baseball podcast. They will be dropping the day after us on a Tuesday. So shout outs to them. Baseball season is in full effect. Basketball season is winding down. The NBA is winding down, but the W is just getting started, and you will get a bunch of your WNBA news from us. Also, we will be bringing back something that we used to do on a podcast named the Four Quarters Podcast that me and Matt originally brought in. It's called Collapse, right?
Never see them niggas again. I swear to God.
Yeah, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the series, the Collapse series. Basically, the Collapse series is we go through a random NBA team and we break down how they collapsed. Whether it be the New York Knicks, the Chicago Bulls.
Why it gotta be us first, dog?
Because the New York Knicks was the first collapse we did.
God damn, man. Could have been another team. Could have been OKC back in 2016.
No. The Knicks has had enough.
That was an emotional episode for me.
God damn, bro.
It was an emotional episode for me.
It was an emotional episode for him because everything that we were saying he couldn't dispute. So like
that, and I was there for a lot of those games.
Yeah,
I was there.
He was there for a lot of them. But a lot of new things coming out from the Your Sports Show Network. And Your Sports Show episode 178 is currently out now. Listen to that. Definitely a lot of hoorah to that episode for sure.
It was a lot.
Oh, you listen? No, you listen?
Yeah. You bro, come on. I support my guys.
Yes, I appreciate you. So
I was in the hospital during that episode.
Yeah, Matt was on the hospital. Matt is crazy. I was trying to wrap up, and I was tired. And then the episode was supposed to be an hour. The shit went an hour and 37 minutes.
I can tell when Drake is tired when he's like, "All right, it's time to wrap up."
Yo, Drake,
and then Matt goes on a tangent.
I didn't realize I was
like I realized when Drake gets tired, like I get the cue, but like Matt put the extra battery in, he's just like,
no. The difference is when it's us, it's kind of like we're flying.
Yeah.
When it's there, it's really unpredictable because we'll be ready to wrap up, and somebody will say some off the wall shit. It will set one of the other three off.
It's mostly Pete.
I'm ready to go.
It's mostly
I'm ready to go. I'm like, I don't care what you say. We can talk about that shit tomorrow if we have to.
And Jay be like, yo, Matt, you had to respond. No, Pete can't get away with this shit.
Right. Nah. Yeah, I gotta respond, Pete. Like it's like unspoken beef for whatever reason sometimes. But like it's like, nah, this got it. Nah, can't go down
man.
like that. Like, okay, whatever. Man.
I love man. Like, shout out to y'all, man. I love y'all, man. Like, yo, continue, the stuff. You know, the summer's gonna be good this summer, especially when it comes to basketball talk after the season's over. Because there's some stuff that I definitely wrote.
Crazy.
Yo,
this is gonna be a while.
There's some shit, and because we never really covered Celtic City, so I want to cover that during the summertime.
I have to watch it,
son. No, I'm not gonna hold you. You have to watch it.
What are y'all talking about?
Celtic City.
Celtic City.
The shit on HBO Max.
Yeah.
All right, I'll watch that shit in the morning.
I will watch. You know what? I will watch it. I will watch it closer to the time to when we will review it. Because I don't want to watch it now and then we review.
No. Everything's so fresh. Just watch it. Watch it on your own time.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, as much as it's always fuck Boston every day. But I have a newfound respect for a lot of the history of that franchise.
I don't.
Did you watch the Bill what's the name? Bill Russell doc when they came out?
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't.
You gotta.
I watched it.
That I have to watch that one.
I respect the franchise for how they treated Bill Russell, the franchise, not the city. The franchise.
Fuck the GM and what he.
What do you mean? Red Auerbach picked him up.
Red Auerbach is the one that picked him up.
Trust me, we gonna talk about it. That's probably gonna be one of the topics. Let's talk about
it. Red Auerbach. He wanted to. He's the only one who wanted to put out an all-black starting five. What are you talking about, bro?
It was for publicity. That's all it was.
No.
He ain't care about niggas
for 60 years.
Right, for 60 years, he could have never drafted another black person again.
Bill Russell was underpaid. We know that.
So was a lot of players.
And then how they did him in that city. How they did him, bro.
The city did him wrong.
The city did him dirty.
The Celtics made him a head coach, and while he was playing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I would never like root for Boston. The only time I rooted for Boston was because of KG, and I was torn.
Yeah, that was the only year I rooted for them
because they were playing against Kobe, bro. I was
never torn.
But then I rooted for Kobe. I swear to God, I rooted for Kobe the next time. And I was like, all right.
No. On the real, KG needed that one. I needed KG to get that one.
I needed Kobe to get that one. I needed Kobe to get that one.
Nah, fuck that.
You needed Kobe to get both. I think Kobe needed both.
He needed all three.
I wanted KG to get that one because
I was talking about against the Celtics.
That one against the first one, I get at the KG. He needed that one. Second one, fuck them niggas.
Why? KG could have went to the Lakers. Let's be clear. So
but again, that was on Mitch Kupchak at the time. Mitch could have done a better job. He could have got that quicker, but it took two Celtics to get KG to Boston.
I don't know. I'd rather not play with. I'd rather play with Rajon Rondo than Derek Fisher. So I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't go home.
But
that's another story for another day.
That is definitely another story for another day. For BK Matt, aka Mr. Henny Bobby Brown himself.
Oh, I got an idea for a logo.
I already gave you a logo. I'm not making you no more logo.
No, one. I'm gonna use the Henny Bobby Brown moniker. I'm using that now.
Okay, but I gave you a Henny logo.
Yeah, but don't get sued, my nigga.
No, I think I'll show you the one that I made for him. I'll show you the one I made for him.
I can't get sued for that. Ask around.
Okay, good.
No, I did.
For the final boss himself, the people's champ, Stu, aka Randy. It is your boy, the wise brother, AR Jones, aka Big Baby. Signing off. Peace.